Hi everybody, it is Miss Matzi and I'm here to talk to you about our newest project, the mapping project. Have you ever wondered when people back in the day used to do some exploring, like in the 1700s, 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, how was it that they were keeping notes and then translating that into an actual map, or even a map that has to do with elevation, like we did with the Play-Doh activity where you made an elevation map? How was it that people could travel around, keep notes, and then bring those notes back to a map maker or a cartographer, and those were transformed into an actual 2D paper map that they could distribute out to other explorers so that they would start to know what was where in a place? Where were the mountains that were really hard to cross? Where were the rivers? Where were the valleys and different things like that? So taking all of those features, landform features that they found in their early explorations, and then putting those onto a map. That's what our newest project is going to be about. Let's take a look at the directions. So on Google Classroom, you have something that looks like this, entitled Mapping Project. These are the instructions, and actually let me put instructions on there so that we know these are the instructions. Your task, your prompt, your question is, an explorer has returned from a new island in the Atlantic Ocean. He has hired you as a cartographer and has given you physical features, global positioning coordinates, and descriptions of key landforms on the newly discovered island. You will need to create, not multiple maps. You will need to create one topographic map, a map that shows elevation and also shows the different features that the explorer has discovered. So what you're going to be using to create that map are the explorer's field notes. So if you click on this link here, this will take you to the field notes. And so you are looking at the notes that an explorer wrote down when he went to a new area, hadn't been discovered yet, no maps on it at all. And you're going to be reading through these notes and then creating a map from them. Most likely your map is going to be on paper. You're going to be creating a paper map. It could be on a larger poster board, it could be on a trifold if you want it to be really big, or it could just be on regular old white printer paper if your writing is very small. But if you have large handwriting, you probably want to go bigger than that. The objectives that we're covering with this project have to do with latitude and longitude, finding distance with a scale, being able to find the elevation on a topographic map, and understanding slope on a map, or gradient it's sometimes called. Also, you're going to need to be able to construct a topographic profile and recognize features, or people call it read a topographic map. Read the contour lines on a topo map so that you can locate features like hills and valleys or rivers and lakes. So what is going to actually be required from you is similar to the scientific method project. You're going to be required to keep a learning log. This learning log is a little more intensive than the one in our initial scientific method project. So you're tracking your personalized path of learning. So you get to choose what you want to do to learn. It could be watch videos, it could be read books, it could be read the textbook, it could be look at notes, PowerPoint notes, and take notes from those. It's up to you. But you're going to describe what you already know about each objective, because some of you have learned this stuff since 4th grade, especially latitude and longitude. So I want you to be describing what you already know, but then logging in the resources that you chose to use in learning about mapping. For many students, contour maps, topographic maps are new. So that's something you're going to have to take some time learning about. You're also going to need to provide evidence of your learning. So that could be in paragraph form, in a narrative. It could be a how-to procedural steps for the different skills, like constructing a topographic profile. It could be a video explanation or a how-to guide where you're explaining how to do each of these skills, or it could be a picture of your notes or the practice worksheets that we're doing in class. The second part is the actual project, and that's your map. So you're creating a topographic map using the field notes. Your map has to include the following things: a scale, contour interval, a title, a compass rose, a description of what the map is showing, your name, latitude and longitude coordinates, a legend, contour lines showing elevation, and landform features like hills, rivers, bays, cliffs, etc. Be sure to take a picture of your map and submit it. So you're going to be submitting your map in two different ways. You want a digital copy documenting that you actually did the map, but it's very difficult to create these maps on a computer. So we're going to be working paper, pencil, marker, crayon, whatever it is that you're using. Take a picture of it, and then you're uploading that picture into your learning log so that we have documentation of it. So you're going to submit that in two ways: electronically, and you're going to be handing your paper copy map in to me. And then finally, like we did in our last project, you're going to be completing a reflection. The reflection is a very important part of your project because it's where you're going to discuss how you personally learned this material. The reflection questions are under the learning log. Reflection is a way for you to think about your thinking. It's like a metacognition, and your learning process. And this is so that you can become an even more efficient learner and a more independent learner. You want to answer all of the reflection questions and add more if you have even more thoughts that I haven't included in any of those questions. So I have links to some of the more important documents for you here, and then the due date. This project is due on October 2nd at 11:59 to Google Classroom. If I have you in class on the 2nd, bring a paper copy of your map. If I don't have you, then you'll just bring it in the next time that I see you. We're submitting this in the same way we did the scientific method project, by submitting to this Google form document where you put your name and your period, and then you put a link to your learning log, reflection, and picture of your map. For this project, you very well may have everything on one Google Doc: your learning log, your reflection, and a picture of your map. It could all be in one Google Doc, and so you could end up just submitting one link to that. I have a couple of resources for you in class, and so two of them are books. So if you're into reading books, I have the longitude book, and then I also have the Map That Changed the World. So these are two resources that you can use as you're working on this project. Also, I have the Mapping Project Learning Resources document for you to take a look at. And so I have this split up right now by objective. So all of these right here, all of these resources are more or less about latitude and longitude. And then going down in the columns is what kind of resource it is. Is it a video? Is it the textbook? Is it notes, like PowerPoint notes, or practice worksheets? If it says practice worksheet, I'll have copies of those in the classroom for you to work on. The books I'll put in just a second, and then I have some different websites for you to read as well. So these are the different resources for you to learn these skills. All right, so that's the mapping project in a nutshell. Same thing as scientific method project. There are three parts to this: your learning log, where you're learning about the 5 different objectives that we're looking at; your actual map. So this time you don't have any choice. Everybody is making a topographic map from the field notes. And your reflection piece. Those are the three pieces that you're going to be turning in. And again, the due date is October 2nd. All right, let me know if you have any questions.